What's going on, everyone? It's been a long time since I've been able to use my mic. So, I'm checking out this new game, Gladio Mori. It was released in last year, basically. So, I think Half Sword's been around for a while now. Let's check that. But, okay, Half Sword isn't released yet, according to Google, but I've been playing it for a long time. This game is interesting because it kind of blends Half Sword and Hellish Court together when it comes to how the two games play. And they have way more weapons, which I'm excited about. We're kind of minimizing the sounds and music. I have just ambient D&D music playing now, and it's just because neither of them are too great right now. The sound effects are a bunch of clicks and bangs, so don't worry about that too much. This game is very early, and that's how it goes. It has a very fast pace. I'm playing on full speed, but you can also play all the way down to a quarter speed. So it has the same general physics as Half Sword. Not quite as refined, and there's not quite as much... Oh, I got him in the neck, but it wasn't enough. And it was enough. So you have the same, like, active ragdoll system, but they can't stumble. When they get hurt, you can dismember, but I have it turned off because the weapons are very sharp. You can basically just cut straight through their bodies like butter. No, like, no bones or anything like Half Sword has. It does look a little jank, but it's that... Ooh. Nasty. It's that same kind of jank that Hellish Court has in combat. Because you're switching between different poses based on your mouse movement. I do like that you can hold a pose, though. I did request that they add targeting, because having to do both, in Half Sword you hold the mouse down and then move your mouse. In here, you click and then the direction, you can see it on the screen, is the direction you're going to attack. And it's fine, it's just that you're also controlling the mouse at the same time. I got him. You can kind of see right there how I just pushed the sword into him. And it's just because there doesn't seem to be any, like, bone simulation like Half Sword has. Oh, and I died. Let's switch to a different weapon. There's a bunch, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited for this. I feel like Half Sword, you could probably mod it to a certain extent, but it's not quite the same. Like the katana mod for Half Sword isn't curved. And I asked the guy who made the mod, and he says it's just not doable yet with how Half Sword's set up. So let's do the long sword. And every weapon has like fairly realistic poses and stances. So you're gonna see kind of like Hellish Court, how they have a legit fighting poses. This happens where your limbs get stuck. That happens in Half Sword too, but in Half Sword you can kind of like finagle your arms free. That's a lot harder to do in this because of how the system works. These battles really just come down to who gets the cleanest hit first. They do have armor, but just in general, the weapons just feel way too powerful right now. So we'll actually do quarterstaff. No, not quarterstaff. Hold on, not quite what I'm looking for. What is it called? Is it the Bojutsu? Yeah. This one is a mod created by a community member. This one's kind of crazy how it controls, because you change your grip on the staff at different attacks. So it's kind of hard to understand what attack leads to what grip. Ooh. Kind of a combo I didn't mean to do. So like a fighting game, you do kind of have to learn your attacks. Whereas in Half Sword, you can kind of just swing wild. Obviously, you can also play really solid in Half Sword. My ultimate attack, I just fall to the ground. Another thing I'd love to see in this, and Half Sword kind of needs this too, is the ability to sweep your opponent, especially if you have weapons like this. Ooh. This game just doesn't do it at all. You can have both your legs totally swept and they'll just kind of like noodle back into place. So let's see. My favorite right now is actually the Pugilist. It does take forever to win these fights, but I think that's kind of why I like them, because the weapons are just way too sharp right now. And the Pugilism actually feels pretty good. Yeah, you can kind of sort of grapple. Not with any of the weapons like in Half Sword, but with Pugilism you can kind of hold them. And I haven't done it in a while. You can actually hit them with your elbow, which is really cool when you actually get it to land. The AI is really bad at pugilism. I haven't been knocked out once. So, of course, it's probably going to be the time where it happens when I'm trying to record. Boom. And for me, pugilism, for some reason, just feels more natural with these controls. I guess because it's very straightforward. You throw a left punch, or you throw a right punch, or you throw a jab, or a body hook. Oh, I might get him off. See, that's what I'm talking about. He did fall off, but only because his foot reset under him. But you can, like, really hang on to that ledge by just kind of having your toe on it. So I don't know how far this game has come. And when you look at Half Sword, like the first version on itch.io to now, it's come a long way. And so maybe this game has too. This map is actually really good for pugilism because you have that extra added ability to knock people off. Yeah. Now another thing I haven't really messed with yet is the move editor. So in here, you can actually go into any weapon, including pugilist, which might be cool for doing different melee fighting styles. But let's do like the katana here. We'll copy and paste it so that we don't mess up the base one. And then you can select it, go in here. If you have experience with Unity, yeah, this song's great. If you have experience with Unity and animating with IKs, this is going to feel pretty comfortable to you, because I think they're just letting you directly adjust their IK stuff. So these are the different movesets. You have the block and the default, and you hit edit and it opens all the different attacks. And then you can press play and see it. Press and hold. So those are the two special attacks, which are bound to the right click, and all the regular attacks are bound to left click. So let's just change his stance. You click edit, and then you're going to see all his little control points. These control points on his hands are the IKs for his hand, and the IKs for his body are these two boxes here. And then these little orbs, actually, is this his head? Yeah, that's his head. Okay, so these orbs control the, they're called, I forgot what they're actually called. I don't use them too often. But you can see it's changing the angle of his elbows and ankles and stuff. Elbows and knees, that's what I meant to say. So, let's just do another katana stance. You can actually change it to a two-handed weapon right here, so that you can move both hands at the same time. So let's do rotate. Oh, does that not work with this? Oh, hold on. Maybe this doesn't work how I expected. We'll just use this one. So we'll rotate the sword like that, and you can actually kill yourself with your own weapon. Half Sword used to have that, but they took it out, I guess, for debugging reasons. You used to be able to just, like, stab your own head and kill yourself. And in this test, I don't want to do it because he will die over here. But you can see he's almost hitting his head there. You can kill the test dummy while making custom moves. So you can see that's his stance now. Not quite where I want it to be, so we'll move it over. And you can see his, because of this point, his elbow's getting kind of, what's the pose? Yeah, your elbows are kind of out, so that's about right. So we'll move this hand there. And you can actually detach the hands. I thought you could. Sit over here. Hold. No hold. None. I did it before, but I can't remember how. You can hold the two-handed weapons with one hand. Somehow. So we're almost there. We'll rotate this a bit. And there we go. We kind of have that high stance, which in this game is terrible. I've tried this already. You just don't have the kind of speed. And you might be able to alter some of the attacks to work better from this pose. And I'll show that in just 1 second. So we'll hit create keyframe. And then everything that changed is over here now. You can see all the red. And yeah, you hit play, nothing happens because it's just the stance. So now he's going to stay in that stance. And then I can show you the attack high here. So there's actually a delay because originally he would have to go to that pose first and then attack. So we can change that. So here's, see, originally you would be in that lower stance and he would move his sword up and then slash down. So we can just completely get rid of that. You hold shift click, we'll hit delete, and then we'll move all of these over to where that was. And so now you'll attack right away. That might help this stance a bit, because he was originally holding it high for a second and then attacking, and now you just go straight down. Kind of don't even need that. You can just go straight because you're already in the pose, right? So boom, boom. And you can see there's kind of a speed limit. So even though this animation happens really fast, he kind of has to catch up. And that makes me wonder if, like, it's, you know, Half Sword is Unreal Engine and this is Unity, and it makes me wonder if maybe Unity's physics are just not that good. So I work with Unity too, and I've tried to make this sort of game before, and I had a lot of issues with the physics. I know you can finagle with them, but so we can do that. And now when we do our up attack, it's real quick and snappy. See, it's okay when we both have the same stance, but I'll change him back to the normal one, and you'll see there's a lot of disadvantages to that high guard. So let's do that. Let's give him the normal katana stance. Alright, this is gonna be hard. Scalped him. But this is kind of my issue with the game, is any little hit kind of is just deadly. Dang. I'm doing way better than last time I tried this. And I didn't even modify that attack. Let's try the up one. And sometimes these battles, because my sword is stuck. Oh. Yeah. So I think though the weapons themselves need some work. Man, that right to left is just deadly. But I do like the way pugilism feels right now, and then they have a mace. Where's the mace? I don't know what this is. Let me just... What is that? Is that like a buckler? Like a spear and weird buckler? I've never seen that before in my life. Oh, does it have little hooks on it? No idea what that is. Alright, Mason Shield, here we go. This one's pretty good too. If you can get... With the mace, you just need just the right shot. And the shield also counts as a solid hit too. Yeah. Which half sword's also really good about. This is making the shields actual weapons. Oh, he got me on the side there. He's almost out. You can kind of tell. It's not quite as easy to tell as half sword because, you know, in half sword they're stumbling and wobbling everywhere. These guys are a little more static, but you can kind of tell when they're about to fall over. And kind of like Hellish Court, you can kind of get to the point where the transitions from different poses can be manipulated. But I'm definitely not at that level yet. What you gonna do with my shield in your face? What you gonna do? Probably hit me with your mace, so we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop doing that. This is usually more how these battles go. But sound effects would really help this game a lot. You can probably hear them a little bit. Just little tink sounds. Okay, his mace is all messed up, so I think we got this in the bag. And kind of like with half sword, you can move your guy to get different angles on your attack, but not quite to the same level. Now half sword you can look up and down too, which kind of helps you duck. And I did suggest that they add some way of ducking. You can theoretically put it in the... Damn, that was a good one. You can theoretically put it into the moveset, but I think there should just be a duck button. A duck and a kick button. But yeah, that's pretty much it. They do have customization. We'll be this guy. Let's try a couple more. They have some really ridiculous ones. Where is it? I tried this one earlier, and I think it's mimicking a certain anime character that I'm not familiar with. But this one is terrible, and you'll just die every time. And it costs 100 points. So that's a very high level of let's just say that's not happening. I've tried this one. This one's okay. It's got some weird attacks that make it hard to use. The dual arming sword. The rapier's okay. This community rapier feels alright. But this is definitely one you need to understand the attacks for. Oh! Like I said, they're lightsabers. They just go straight through you. Half sword kind of still has that problem, but not as bad as it used to. Hey, my guy has chainmail. That should count. I don't know. Are rapiers that sharp on the edges? They're all about stabbing, right? Yeah. See, that was... I'm gonna call bullshit on that. You know, that's something half swords maybe a little too good about is you have to get a really solid attack in before it counts. Okay. Alright, well, let's just try one more here. This game has, like, no hype behind it, and maybe it's because it is moving slow. I don't want to, like, put that out there, but that tends to be one of the reasons why these sorts of games don't have a big following, is because they don't update enough. This one's good, the Killie. If that's what it's called. I'm not too familiar with this weapon. I recognize the stance, but not... I don't know where it's from or anything. Gotcha. And you can't grab... I don't think it's super important, but I do feel like you should be able to grab... Ooh, perfect. You should be able to grab their hands at least. And half sword, the grabbing has some issues, so... The AI really struggles with those right to lefts. I'm learning. Whew. And you can't turn quite as fast. See, like, I feel like that shouldn't have just went straight through his ribs there, but you know, it is what it is. And when you go online, the yeah, that right to left is just the winning move, I guess. The only lobbies really, other than this tourney practice, are unarmed. And that's because the unarmed is the only one where you can take a few hits. There's a few levels. Let's try this one with the not the Bardouche, that one's insane. The axe, yeah, let's try this. Last one. And I don't know how their graphics are gonna look at the end. I kind of wouldn't mind the characters looking something like this, but hopefully a little bit more polished. This would work in half sword, pulling back on the back of their head. Ah, bastard. You can block, but man, it's really hard to get solid blocks in this. I'm just gonna push him into the lava. Oh no. Oh no. No, not me. No. My plan backfired. And you can't change stances. Well, maybe you could theoretically. You can make multiple movesets. But I don't know how you would switch between them. And I guess you could theoretically replace all your blocks with attacks. So you could have... Oh, damn. You could have 2 attack sets. I haven't tried that. I don't know if that's for real, but... Theoretically, it makes sense that you could just get rid of all your blocks and just have a lot of different attacks. Is this a sword? Yeah. Yeah, that's a sword. No. Oh. I'm holding the pose, that's why I'm just kind of sitting there. Sometimes your weapon gets... Ooh. Sometimes your weapon gets stuck, but I like to hold the pose and kind of push people. It's also kind of a way to control them a little bit, but they can also get around it. Ugh. That hook sword's interesting. Which makes it super deadly in this game because when it's... Ugh. I feel like that should be a draw, but he doesn't tumble over into the lava. Let's see a low attack. Okay, that looks alright. Let's play a little safer. Okay. Let's see. I have a good hook on him. No! No! I do like this weapon. It's interesting. The hook adds an interesting element to the attacks. And you can hook their weapon and them. And you can turn on Dismemberment, because right now we're not really doing any limb damage. I guess kind of are. But with Dismemberment, you will actually take their limbs off. But like I said, because of how finally got my revenge. Like Israel Adesanya, I just got to win 1 out of 7, and you know, it's even. I guess we'll see where it's gonna go. It's only version 0.16, so that tells me this has a long way to go. And hopefully they can make some progress. There's a campaign, and it's just kind of like Mortal Kombat. You just go through a ladder of enemies. But yeah, it might be one to keep an eye on. I do want to try multiplayer when I have someone I know to kind of mess around with it. And just kind of see how different it is against a real person instead of the AI. It would be cool if you could adjust the damage these weapons deal. The hold position, interesting. Reverse blade. Yo, now we can be the cool guy. Oh yeah, ultimate attack. Okay, I guess it doesn't work unless you have the reverse blade attack. But I can at least do the pose. The cool guy. Reverse blade. Strike attack. Ah! It's realistic. I give this game 10 out of 10 for that. Here we go. Take this. I got him. No one can defeat the reverse katana blade attack. We're gonna save that replay. That's a good one. Let's go ahead and watch that. This is something I really wish Half Sword had. We do not have the luxury of yo, ultimate attack right there. Let's do free look. Oh, how does free look work? Free look, hello? Ah, good. Oh, okay, you hit E. The ultimate super reverse blade stab at the head. I don't think that would kill him. At least not right away. See, oh, this would be so good in Half Sword. Yeah, I mean, that just barely nicked the top of his forehead there. I think he'd be pretty okay. You know, and that just kind of shows you, like, what I mean about the development level. Like, in Half Sword, it's calculating how deep the attack goes and bone density and stuff. And hopefully these guys can figure that out too, because it adds a lot of depth to the combat. And I think that's why we're seeing only pugilist multiplayer lobbies. This isn't just... The combat just isn't quite there yet with these sharp weapons. But yeah, being able to do this in Half Sword would be great. I know there's some like important blood vessels in the forehead, so maybe this would be fatal, just probably not right away. Right? Not quite. Not drop dead ragdoll fatal. But yeah, if we see any big improvements with this, I will definitely make a new video on it, and probably make a multiplayer video when I can get my friend into this too. Y'all have a good one.